Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter. I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. I had a great question. I get this question a lot. And I know I've done videos on it before, but I'm going to do them again. So the question is basically, is wholesaling illegal? Right? Can you wholesale houses, or will it be illegal? Did I screw up this thing? I think I did. Maybe I did. Okay. So let's talk about it. Wholesaling houses will never be illegal. It never is. It never was illegal. It's not illegal anywhere. It's not illegal in the sense that if I want to buy a couch at a tag sale and go sell it on eBay, that's not illegal. That's just how capitalism works. The only part that can even be construed as illegal is that in one state right now, which is Illinois, you need to wholesale, you need a real estate license. That's it. So that's the worst thing they can do, is require a real estate license. Now, let me tell you something. I hope they do that in New York. I hope they do it everywhere, to be honest. Let me explain why. Number one is I'm licensed. Number two is for 5-6 years, I've been coming on social media saying everyone should get licensed. And just to reiterate the 3 reasons why everyone should be licensed. Number one, you want access to MLS, the multiple listing service. Number two, you want to be able to list your own deals, wholesale deals. You cannot represent that you own the property, but you can wholesale a deal to cash buyers as a contract vendee, which means you're in contract. And 3 is if you go on enough appointments, you're going to meet people who want to list. So you want to get those listings and monetize them. You're already paying for the marketing. So I've been telling people for years to get licensed. So that's the second reason why I'd be fine if they required it to be licensed. But the third reason is it does create a barrier of entry. Now, and I've been saying for years, I don't believe in competition. I only believe in collaboration. So I'm not saying I don't want competitors, but what I'm saying is there are people out there who suck at what we do, right? They go online and they watch excellent people, teach them how to do business in the other 49 states, and they come to New York and they stink. And here's to me, the basic dividing line between people who are good and people who are bad. And of course, there are people on both sides who stink and are good also. But the basic dividing line is, can you actually close? When you go into contract in New York, there's no outs. So are you able to close if you can't find the buyer? If you can't, you're probably not good at this. And you're probably going to piss off a seller. You're probably going to lose your deposit. And you're going to make us all look bad. So I was at Investor Fuel, when was it? May. And Jason Lewis, who's an awesome, amazing guy out of Salt Lake City, said, listen, he goes, right now it's really easy to make money in wholesaling. And he showed a Facebook post of a kid who goes, I'm 18, I'm getting into wholesaling now. 3 weeks later, the kid goes, I made my first $8,000. 3 months later, he's like, I made $100,000. Another month later, he's like, I'm starting to sell a coaching course. So Jason Lewis goes, this kid went from 18-year-old, went from zero to being a guru teaching other people in 4 months. Let me tell you something. With all due respect to that kid, I don't know who he is. He doesn't know anything, right? After 4 months, you don't know anything. He doesn't even know the things he doesn't know. He got lucky. And requiring people to get licensed, I believe, will A, prevent people who shouldn't be in the business from being in the business, and B, prevent people who maybe are in the business but are not good at it from continuing in the business. Now, again, I am not saying that there shouldn't be competition. I welcome competition. I do. I don't call it competition. I call it collaboration, right? The more people that are honest and that are good at what we do and that do what we say we're going to do to sellers and to buyers, it's better for everybody, right? There's tons of deals, right? Just Long Island, it's 3 million, almost 3 million people. It's an amazingly densely populated area. We have tons of deals, thousands of deals. I'm not worried about losing deals to other people. And I probably will, but it doesn't matter in the big picture. So in my opinion, even if they require us to be licensed in New York, I think it's a great thing. I really do. But it'll never, ever, ever be illegal more than, saying it's illegal is absurd, right? Because the only thing they can do is regulate it. They can't prevent it. You're buying something and selling something. That's it. Or buying something and assigning a contract. It's perfectly legal. We're using attorneys in New York more than, which they don't even do in the other 49 states. So everybody should be protected. Are there people who cock around with attorneys and they say, use my attorney and I'll cover him, and then the seller's attorney never even meets the seller? Yeah, I'm not so keen on that. I think that's a lot of bullshit. But sellers ask me all the time, can you recommend an attorney? And I get them an actual attorney who meets with them face-to-face, or at least on the phone or through Zoom if it's COVID, and actually represents them. And the attorneys that I give them are people who tell me, I'm going to represent the client. I go, you should, right? His interests need to be protected. Just to go back, I always dreamed of doing deals without attorneys, and I thought it would be amazing. And I got a couple of deals without attorneys, and they were nightmares. Because in New York State, there are certain things that the seller's attorney has to do. I need a drink, 1 second. The seller's attorney has to do, such as clear out any title issues from the seller. So theoretically, if you got a deal, and this is what happened in two different situations, is the seller said, I do not want to pay an attorney, I refuse. So I had them sign a very strongly worded affidavit saying they're not going to be represented. But then a lot of crap fell on me, right? I needed death certificates on one. They told me that they wanted the proceeds split between the two siblings. I completely forgot 2 months later when we closed. And they were yelling at me at the closing, screaming. And these are things that the seller's attorney does, right? He sends in a checklist, a list of checks, how he wants the proceeds divided. I don't deal with that crap. And my attorney doesn't deal with that. And the guy I assigned it to doesn't deal with that. It's always a seller's attorney. So I got what I wanted, right? I closed the deal with that attorney and two of them, and it was a nightmare. So I don't recommend it. But wholesaling will never be illegal, right? Wholesaling is, in all respect, due respect to Tom Kroll, who I love, and he's from right here from Long Beach. His thing is, it's not real estate. I just buy things at a discount. It's not that simple, right? You got to find things at a discount, and then you got to find the buyer for it. There are a couple of parts to it. And the hardest part, of course, is the part that no one talks about, which is the marketing part, which is finding the sellers. So it'll never be illegal. You're not doing anything illegal. Everything is voluntary, right? People look at what we do and think that we're predatory, right? Well, if you could buy it at such a discount, then obviously that guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's not the case. We provide certainty and convenience, right? It's just like buying a cup of coffee at Starbucks. When you go to Starbucks, the ingredients of what you're buying cost Starbucks probably 30 cents, and you pay $6 for it. Why? Because you don't want to buy the machines. You don't want to buy the milk frother. You don't want to buy milk. You don't want to buy cups. You don't want to buy stirs. You don't want to deal with it. You want certainty and convenience. It's there and it's simple. And no one goes to Starbucks and says, you guys are taking advantage of all those people because you're selling a 30-cent cup of coffee for $6. It's the same thing. When we go to a seller, right? I met a seller yesterday who has a property. It's been vacant for 15 years. Okay. He's been paying taxes on it for 15 years. He's going to sell it to me at a severe discount. I hope he's going to sell it to me. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore, right? I'm going to take it, and I am going to probably wholesale it to another flipper. But I am taking this off his hands because he doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to list it. He doesn't want to have people coming back to him. He doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. That's it. And there are so many reasons why sellers sell at a discount, and there are so many situations where it makes sense. I mean, I spoke to someone recently who said, "Listen, I don't want to be on the hook for a buyer. I don't want to be on a buyer's timeline, right? I want to close when I want to close, and I don't want to be on a buyer's the possibility that the buyer is going to ask for me to make repairs. I don't want to deal with it. I want it simple. I want it easy, and that's it." And I told her straight up, I go, "Listen, if you list this property, you'll get more money from it." I said, "But you may very well be on a buyer's timeline. That buyer may need to get kids into school by the end of August. That buyer may come back and say that there's issues with the walls, and I think there was a shed, that maybe didn't have a permit, which is very common. So that was it. The seller wants to sell the property and not deal with that. It's certainty and convenience. The certainty that the price that I give them is the price they're going to get. I'm not going to come back with an inspection and say, "Oh, I need a $20,000 adjustment." I just had that on a deal. It's ridiculous. They were asking for a new roof. I replaced the roof 6 months ago. They asked for a new roof because I think there was some wood trim that had like a knot in it, and they thought it was a leak. And I'm like, I am not doing, and there are unscrupulous realtors and unscrupulous attorneys who will tell their client, bid high, right? I think this time they bid 10,000 over asking, bid high, and then I'll get it knocked down after the inspection, right? I can't stand that. It happens every once in a while. I just want to vomit, right? And it's a big problem. And I don't want to go off on a tangent so much, but I can tell you that until contracts are signed, I will continue to market that property 1,000%. And every time I accept an offer, or my dispo guy is told, my dispo guy is amazing, we'll accept your offer, but we're still marketing the property until contracts are signed. And why? Because jerk-offs will do what I just told you. They'll get you, "Oh, it's an accepted offer. It's fine." And then they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but the inspection came in short. We needed $20,000 off." So it's very simple. Until the buyer is under contract to buy, I'm not under contract to sell. And I have gotten so many calls from buyers saying, "Sorry, we're out." No reason. Sometimes they don't even call. Sometimes they just ghost you. So since that can happen on the buyer side, you need to understand that can happen on the seller side. And I've gotten tons of shit from realtors saying, "Oh, you're not a man of your word. You accepted an offer and you took a higher offer." I'm like, "You got to get the contract signed. And go until the contract's signed. You can walk away. I should be able to walk away." No, it's not how it works. Oh, I've been doing this for 50 years, young whippersnapper. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. Believe me, I remember the feeling of getting punched in the stomach when I had a deal in the beginning when I did not have a lot of deals, and I thought this is great. This is going to be the best deal ever. And then the guy promised me, he said, I'm on my way to the bank to get the check, and then I'm going to bring it to my attorney, and I'm so excited. And then I got a text 2 days later saying, "Sorry, my client has chosen not to proceed with the contract, not to proceed with the transaction." That can happen. So always continue to market your properties until they're under contract. That's completely off tangent. I apologize, but I feel very strongly about that. So again, wholesaling will never be illegal, ever. The only way they can, in my mind, they can regulate it in any way is that they can require someone to have a real estate license to do it, right? Because in some ways, I understand that, right? You're not really selling a house, you're selling a contract, but it's close to it. So I understand that. But I hope they do. I really do. So just prevent a lot of the morons. So there are morons who do what we do from doing what we do. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in how I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in my course, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you're interested in coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, any media channel, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate the thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And keep the comments coming. This came from a recent comment. If the comment's simple, I will just respond with an answer. If I've done multiple videos on it recently, I will respond with videos. And this is a good example of something where I haven't covered in a while. So I'm going to do a full-time video on it. Thank you for all the likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for watching.